Welcome to the offseason here in the Coaching Carousel Dynasty. Our former team in the college football playoffs, Houston, has made it to the championship after upsetting Ohio State 38-35 in the semis. But just flashback back to when we were the offensive coordinator at Houston. We went 12-1 and capped off the season with a bowl game victory in the Orange Bowl. And that was probably the best season of this series, as we took Houston in our first year all the way. But Houston returns to the playoffs as a one-loss team. They've made it to the national championship, and they will take on Texas, who also upset the #2 seed as well. So both of these teams we are familiar with because we have played Texas before in this series. But Lucas Coley early on getting into a little bit of trouble, trying to find his favorite target, Cody Jackson. And Houston in a deficit in the first half. And it gets worse. They start out the second half. Kickoff return for a touchdown by Texas. And they are in full control versus our former team. They take the 20-3 lead in the third quarter. But here is Derek Koff on the other end. Texas back to pass. This one will be up in the air and picked off by a defensive lineman. And the Houston defensive tackle will take this one all the way. That is the first turnover of the game by Texas, and it's a pick six, which lets Houston back into this game. Here is Lucas Coley now taking the option to the right side, 20 yards into the end zone, and now Houston is only down by 3. Into the fourth quarter, here is Koff running the option, and they pitch it to the running back, and the running back puts it on the ground, and Houston takes over. So Houston down 20-3 in the third quarter has stormed all the way back with a couple of turnovers. And here is Coley setting up his offense inside the 5. Handoff to Jamel Starks, 2 yards out, and Houston takes the 4-point lead. 3.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Here's a deep shot down the left side, and that one is caught. Reggie George for 40 yards. And Texas is set up inside the 5. Here is Derek Koff keeping the next carry. Read option. It's a touchdown. And now Houston must go the length of the field here with 3 minutes to go to tie this ball game up at least. But here is Coley, a throw across the middle. This one's going to be caught by Sam Brown for a gain of 11. Sam Brown didn't get much playing time when we were the offensive coordinator, but they do get into field goal position and get into OT. But here is Koff in overtime going down. That's a big time sack because they have to go for it here on a 4th and 37 as they're out of field goal range. Koff tries to buy time to get this one down the field. Instead, he takes the big sack. Coley sets his team up into field goal range for an easy field goal here from about 30 yards out. And this one is good. Our former team, the Houston Cougars, end up with their first national championship in school history. As we could have once, remember, possibly taken over as head coach of Houston, we elected to move on to Maryland. So I made a mistake earlier in the last episode and the last couple episodes saying that this was a 2-win team last year. This was an 0-12 team last year. And we took over, won 9 games, a pretty good start here as the head coach of Maryland. But going into the offseason, we didn't expect to take any head coaching offers, obviously only being at the school for 1 year. We did get some interesting offers, though. We had both offers for coordinators at Ohio State. That's happened before where we got the offensive coordinator job. But also, how about this? The first team we started with, Bowling Green, offers us to be the head coach. That is just crazy how it comes full circle. We do not take this offer, but it was an interesting one nonetheless. As now we move into the offseason. Now, there are a couple of guys we will be missing, including Cam James, who was really good on the defense. And I think we're going to be looking for a playmaker. We're missing Corey Waldron, who was one of our highest rated guys as well, and then Cam James. We don't really miss too many guys on the offensive side of the ball, but defense, we could suffer a little bit. But that will have to be supplanted with the recruit Paul Parsons coming off of the edge. He's going to be in on a lot of pass rushing situations. And then we also have a very good quarterback recruit in Mac Anderson. Anderson comes in with 89 throw power. That would be the highest throw power on the team. 83 accuracy. That would also be the highest accuracy on the team. So there is a chance that Mac Anderson could start right away. We do have a pretty good tight end recruit in Justin Carter, 75 catching, only 80 speed, but I can see him playing some slot receiver because, like we just saw the last couple of episodes, Johnny Russo drops a ton of passes in the slot. I need somebody a little more reliable. On the defense side of the ball, we do have a couple of interesting recruits, including Paul Parsons. Chris Williams is a defensive tackle who we can develop a little bit. But then I really like Jared Carter. He comes in with 91 speed, 82 man, 78 zone right away, which is actually really, really good starting out. And we can develop him in that cornerback group. Hopefully he will progress. But there's only one guy I really want to go after in the offseason. That's Russ Tatum. I wanted to try this. I haven't actually done this before. Added a guy that had no interest in us and just put all of our points on him and see what happens. The reason why I'm trying this out is because we don't really have anybody at the top of our board right now that I really care about. And I wanted to add a guy that maybe had some, questions about where he's going to play college ball. But it ended up not working out. We only lost by 765, but I don't think it would have mattered. I don't think he would have came to us either way. I think we had to be on that list to get him to sign with us. But he signs with Michigan along with Jim Edwards, another quarterback. And we end up with the 122nd recruiting class. Now, I want to say that this class right here, only 8 commits, but we have a very top-heavy 3 with Carter, with Parsons, and then also with our quarterback, Mac Anderson. I think all 3 of those guys will have a chance to start. I did use the training tool for college football revamped for training, so you can see some of the guys actually went down. Like Springer actually went down in throw power. Ellis Holmes goes down in overall. So does Josiah Ducks. I'm not even sure what happened, but I think that just goes to show that you need to recruit guys that have potential. Obviously, that's not a shown rating in the game, but it's a hidden rating behind the scenes. But Levante St. Brown did go up +10 in awareness, +2 in route running. Jace Washington went up a few points in route running as well. Our best player on the defensive side that had the best offseason was Isaiah Ripley. He goes up +6 overall. Very good offseason. Hopefully he does contribute in getting after the passer. We could definitely use it. And then looking at our linebackers, I think this is going to be probably our biggest hole. Connor Summerfield is 87 overall, but he's not, an elite talent there. So we'll have to see how our defense does this season. I think that's the one kind of sore spot on this team. Even though we're not the highest rated team, I think we do show up week to week, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And maybe Mac Anderson could provide a much needed spark and give Shiv Kishore a little run for his money as the starter. We'll have to see. There are kind of similarities with Mac Anderson and Gunnar McQuaid, which we saw last year. Mac Anderson isn't the fastest 67 speed, but he can throw the football. I think he's just interesting at 6'5". I think he's got a lot of potential. Obviously, the awareness is the big issue. Shiv Kishore's awareness went up to like 98. So that is like a big time difference between the two. And hopefully Levante St. Brown stays healthy. I think that hurt us the last few games where we ended up losing a few at the end of the season. But Justin Carter will get in at that slot. I'm telling you, 80 speed, 88 acceleration, 75 catching, 71 route running. Not bad as a tight end. So that's going to do it here in the offseason. We decided to stick around at Maryland. Obviously, that was probably the most logical scenario and probably the most likely outcome, just because obviously coaches don't jump, coaching job to coaching job after 1 year. We'll see what happens in year 2. Hopefully we can pull out the Big Ten championship. But the question is, let me know, do you think Mac Anderson should start next year, or should it be Shiv Kishore? Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still trying to fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war.